Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm a Hope Writer. So I've been writing online for 12 years, but by myself. So when I started to blog, I lived in Alaska, and I was literally the only one I knew who did it. So there was no one I could bounce ideas off of, there was no one doing it with me, and so I just did it and figured out how to kind of design it, how to publish and all of that, and just kind of did it on my own for several more years until I met someone who was a writer as well. And then for the next several years, I knew two people who wrote online like I did. And so we just kind of did that together, talked occasionally. Hey, does anybody read what you write? No, but we'll just keep going anyways. And so Hope Writers came into my life, and it filled the need that I had to know I wasn't crazy, to know I wasn't alone, and to know that other people were doing this thing, even if at the time I wasn't getting paid anything for it. It was just something I felt called to do. And so Hope Writers came into my life at a time when I had the repeated thoughts of, you should just quit. Nobody cares anyways about what you're writing, or at least they don't seem to care. And you should just quit because it's taking a lot of your time and you don't even get paid for it. So after Hope Writers entered my life, I was at a time when I had just written my first book proposal. And before I started Hope Writers, I would just kind of look up different book proposal outlines online. I would watch tutorials, YouTube, kind of the book proposal gurus out there. They would help me kind of put it together. But then I was still in that process of trying to land a book deal before Hope Writers. But after Hope Writers entered my life, I had an agent already by that point. But what I really needed was help to keep going. And one important lesson I learned was that your first book proposal might not be the one that's going to actually go forward and be successful. It might take a few times. And in my case, I co-wrote the book proposal with someone, another Hope Writer actually, and I think it was by our fourth proposal was the one we landed the deal on. And the difference is when we were writing it, we'd say, oh, what was that they taught us in Hope Writers about what we should include in a proposal? What were the to-dos? What were the to-don'ts? And we'd go back and scour through the library. We'd scour the Facebook group in a little search box, which is so helpful. And we filled in our proposal and we ended up getting a book deal. And it comes out soon. And so much of what we used in that proposal, that was the final winning proposal, I guess you could say, we learned from Hope Writers. So the library and the Facebook group and just the community and the ability to ask questions and get really valuable answers is kind of what pushed our proposal over the edge. Before I joined Hope Writers, my main concern was the money. I'm a mom of a big family. I have 8 children, and we don't just have cash laying around just to grab and throw out at anything we set our eyes on or our sights on. And so it had to be something that was going to be super valuable, and that meant a lot to me because I had done this writing thing for so long, being so lonely in it, that it had to make a really big difference. And what I saw immediately when I joined was just this community and this, it filled the loneliness void for me, especially living far off from people literally that wrote, but just across the country. And I love how the internet just can bring people like you're in the same room together. And so it filled that void for me right away. And giving money to Hope Writers every month and then eventually annually, it became part of my daily life, just like going to work or going to church. It was just something that I did, and it's something I can't see doing without. One thing I've learned in writing a whole book manuscript is that the writing of the book is actually easier than getting the book out into the world. And that's what I'm finding. And I thought all this time that my big end goal was actually writing the manuscript. And that was a challenge. It was also fun, but it was, challenging too. But where Hope Writers has been the most valuable to me is Hope Writers has taught me that marketing my book and getting it out into people's hands isn't about me and isn't about making me big or my message big. It's about helping people. And so Hope Writers has shown me that marketing my book, doing it well, giving me ideas in how to market that book and get it out there is doing people a service. And that's why I wrote the book in the first place. It wasn't so that I can be great or that my message can be highly recognized. It's so actual real people are helped. And Hope Writers has helped me see that, and that building a platform or a bench or some way, or using a megaphone to get the message out into the world isn't selfish. It's just helpful. And that's what I want to be. And that's why most of us here at Hope Writers write, is to help people. And I think Hope Writers has really hit a home run in that aspect. One thing I really love about being a Hope Writer is that whenever I find out someone is a fellow Hope Writer, whether it's just an online connect or even like in real person, like I'll actually see someone, there's just an instant connection. You don't even have to speak any words. You don't even have to say what you do. You just get it, because we're all here to write words that help people. And I just love that instant connection, even with people I've met just for the very first time and have had zero time with. I just love that camaraderie is instant, because we get what each other does, and there's just that instant commonality. If you are thinking about joining Hope Writers and you just aren't sure, well, let me encourage you that Hope Writers has so many different needs it fills, that if you have a need, chances are there's going to be something they offer that fills it. Because I know that for me, it fills a void or a need that might be different than the next 3 Hope Writers. But there's something for everybody, and I think that if you give it a try, that you'll find something that is perfectly tailored just for you. I'm Amanda Bacon, and I help women know they're not alone in their struggles through encouragement from God's Word and my own real-life experience. You can find me at amandabacon.com, themasterpiecemom.com, and allthemomthingspodcast.com.